Welcome to Talk Across America. I'm Doug Miles, and we're here in beautiful Sarasota, Florida. And joining us now on our Book Talk segment, great to welcome a woman who's written a very helpful book, I'm sure, and she's helped a lot of people with her writings and her speaking across the world. This one is called Choose Wonder Over Worry, Move Beyond Fear and Doubt to Unlock Your Full Potential. We're joined today by Amber Rae. She's an artist, speaker, very talented woman, known as the Millennial Motivator, and she joined us today via telephone from the great city of Brooklyn, New York, or borough, I should say, and Amber Rae joined us now. How are you, Amber?
I'm amazing. How are you, Doug?
I'm doing great. Had a chance to read through your book. I felt very motivated after reading it. So you did a good job. I felt like you were talking to me directly. You had that kind of voice when you're writing.
Amazing. Thank you for saying that. That was the hope. So I'm glad that you received it that way.
Talk a little bit about, you talk in the book about your personal story as you give tips along the way, but I guess so many people, obviously worry is a part of everybody's lives, but you really overcame a lot of things to kind of, overcome to do what you wanted to do, right? But it can be really debilitating if you let it. Worry, I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
What inspired you to write the book at this particular time?
So, the book really stems from my own journey with worry and fear and feeling paralyzed by the voices in my head, the conversation in my head, am I good enough? Who am I to do this? Does my voice matter? What will they think of me? What if I'm rejected? If I'm rejected, how will I handle it? And on and on and on. And it was these inner conversations that I kept feeling stifled by. And one day I actually decided to wonder about them, to wonder, wait, where did this come from? Where did I learn this? Who taught me this? And as I began to explore deeper and deeper into the root of these beliefs that I was allowing to and choosing to lead my life, that's when I was able to begin to write a different story. And so the inspiration from the book really came through my own journey of choosing wonder over worry and learning to not, try to banish fear or, so many people come to me and say, how do I become fearless? How do I make my worry go away? And that's not really the point, because worry and fear are here to protect us and keep us safe, but it's how do we worry better? How do we use wonder as a tool for self-discovery and unlocking our potential?
Yeah. Yeah, and again, you said it. Worry. Although I don't like that word, but I mean, it's. I know it does protect you in a sense, but boy, that really has gotten out of hand because we worry about things that probably never going to happen, and if they do happen, it's not going to be as bad as we think that it is. So it really can stop you.
Totally can stop you. I mean, research shows that 80% of our time, which this stat makes me so sad, 80% of our time and attention is about regret of the past or anxiety about the future. So about 80% of the average adult is spending their time worrying about things outside of their control. And I believe it's 95% of what we worry about doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And so, while it's, good to know that it can be useful because worry is going to make sure we don't fall off the side of a mountain, a lot of the worries that we have, our brain, which is that part of us that keeps us safe, has not adapted to modern society. So when we are about to do something new or meaningful or novel, which is also risky and quote-unquote dangerous because it's uncertain, that's when worry can get really, really loud. That's when fear can become stronger because we're actually moving in the direction of something that's meaningful to us.
Do you think it's worse? I would probably say it is worse today, the worry, because, like you said, there's so many things coming at you with not only media, social media. The speed of life is a lot faster than even 10 years ago. So I guess you just said it, right? The human body is still trying to figure it out, right?
Yeah, we're still adapting. I mean, 10 years ago we didn't have 9 different social platforms that we're going between, and a big thing on social media now is the comparison trap, where you see someone's life, which is usually their highlight reel, and you think, they're better off than me, I'm less than. And that's leading to a lot of depression and isolation and a sense of anxiety and a sense of, feeling disconnected. Even though we're in an age of being more, quote-unquote, connected through technology, those technologies aren't necessarily increasing our feeling and sense of being connected.
Wonder is an interesting word. I think you're a little bit younger than I am, but I don't know if you ever remember a show, if you grew up in New York, called Wonderama. It was a kid's show on Channel 5. It was they show different things to the kids, kind of an educational entertainment show. But wonder is an interesting word, isn't it? It can encompass many things.
It is indeed. I don't remember that show. I do remember the Wonder Years, though.
Right, I remember that. Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, wonder is kind of one of those words. It can be, I think you describe it, the voice of your truest truth. But it really it's an imagination, I guess, right? And that helps overcome the worry, right? The possibilities of what you could do.
Absolutely. Wonder is, it's igniting the imagination. I wonder if, I wonder how, I wonder when. And it's that curious part of us that leads us to that truth. And, when there's so much noise in the world, it can be hard to hear that voice of truth inside of you, that voice of what your gift is. But when we can wonder and allow ourselves to play in possibility, that's when a lot of new doors can emerge in our lives.
And I like how you break down the book into the many chapters you have, and a lot of it again is your experiences along the way. And you've had a very interesting career so far, Amber. Interesting life. Did you kind of keep a journal as you went along, or how did you do the writing process for this book?
I've been journaling since I was a kid. That was just something that I remember. I think I got my first journal when I was 6 or 7 years old, and of course, the content has changed, but I've always been writing and capturing. Mm-hmm. I was an only child, so I feel like my journal is my friend. And so the process of actually writing the book, it was a combination of journaling, and I've been blogging on the internet for about a decade. So just beginning that process of putting the work out there, and I find that creativity snowballs. So when you start, it's always hard to start, but once you start, it's actually hard to stop. And so for me, it was, over the years, capturing notes through journal. I have something called a clue notebook that I take with me, and every day I just notice things because I want to be, being present is actually just the act of noticing what's happening around you. So I notice things that resonate, notice things that inspire me, notice things that piss me off, and I think those are all interesting clues. And so I took basically, all of those elements and pieced them together, as well as I've worked with thousands of clients over the years, as well as different client anecdotes and trends that I see in terms of what really paralyzes them and holds them back, and used all of that information and data, as well as interviews with different neuroscientists and psychotherapists and authors, to weave what is now the book.
Yeah, it's a very interesting way you put it together, and I guess it is similar to your blog. And boy, that's a word that 10 years ago nobody knew what that was. But boy, that has really taken off as another form of media, right? I mean, we do a lot of our interviews, we post them online, but writing on the internet, getting your own website, getting your message out there that way, that has revolutionized the way people get inspired, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And I feel blessed that I happen to be raised in the era where that was even a possibility.
What do you do now, Amber? I know you travel around. You do so many things. Do you focus on any one particular thing, or how do you get your projects?
Well, the core thing was, so the book launched this week. So it's
right.
I got the book deal about a year ago, and basically went all in, wrote the book in 2.5 months, built the whole marketing strategy and plan, and then have launched. So now I'm going on a 7-city tour to basically take this message as far and wide as possible. I do a ton of speaking and also interactive art experiences. So really it's, for me, it's about how do I create spaces that evoke a sense of wonder and curiosity, so people can not just, I love the process of reading the book and diving into the stories there, but how do we bring that to life through experiences so people can really feel it and feel that sense of connection to themselves and each other.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a lot of those sorts of things right now and over the next few months.
Great, and I imagine, and you talk about it in the book, just writing the book of your own experiences, I imagine that has even helped you even more than probably you thought when you started it, right, in your own personal journey. I
feel like, I was telling a friend the other day that I wrote the book and the book wrote me, or I made the book and the book made me, and it really, I feel like a transformed human. It was the most, and a message like choose wonder over worry, I'm a woman of my values, and so if I'm going to put that message out there, I better embody it. And so I feel like the message in the book was also an initiation in a lot of ways, because every day I'm being invited to choose wonder over worry and to not let worry hold me back and to make asks that feel uncomfortable and to put myself out there, to share things that feel a little edgy and vulnerable. But really that's what the work is all about.
Yeah. Choose wonder over worry, move beyond fear and doubt to unlock your full potential. That's the full title of the book, and we've been talking with Amber Rae today. And Amber, give out your website again. People, I'm sure, want to get more information about the book.
Yeah, choosewonder.com is where you can find out more about the book. And then I'm on all the social medias as Hey Amber Rae, R-A-E.
Great. Amber, pleasure talking to you. I know you're probably doing a lot of these, but we'd love to have you on again down the road. But thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. So good to connect with you, Doug.
Thank you for joining us today on Talk Across America. Please visit our website at dougmilesmedia.com for more great interviews and content. And if you're interested in any of the books we talk about on the program, please click the Amazon link on our website. It helps support the podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again real soon here from beautiful Sarasota, Florida.
I'm Stan Brock. 30 years ago, I formed Remote Area Medical to help people overseas. But then we found generations of families in America isolated by poverty from the health care they need. Together, we can take dental, vision, and medical help to 1 million adults and their kids, right here at home in the United States of America.